February 2012, Global Future 2045 Congress is held in Moscow. It is a debate platform for discussion of our civilization's prospects for development. 2012 to 2013, the global economic and social crises are exacerbated. The debates on the global paradigm of future development intensifies. New transhumanist movements and parties emerge. Russia 2045 transforms into World 2045. Simultaneously, the 2045.com international social network for open innovation is expanding. Here, anyone interested may propose a project, take part in working on it, or fund it, or both. In the network, there are scientists, scholars, researchers, financiers, and managers. 2013 to 2014. New centers working on cybernetic technologies for the development of radical life extension rise. The race for immortality starts. 2015 to 2020. The avatar is created. A robotic human copy controlled by thought via brain-computer interface. It becomes as popular as a car. In Russia and in the world appear, in testing mode, several breakthrough projects. Android robots to replace people in manufacturing tasks. Android robot servants for every home. Thought-controlled avatars to provide telepresence in any place of the world and abolish the need for business trips. Flying cars. Thought-driven mobile communications built into the body or sprayed onto the skin.
So let's look at some of the other key functionality or capabilities of this system. And right now we're just talking about the JADE system because that's what everybody's concerned about right now, JADE HELM. It can make high-level trade determinations. It makes decisions regarding casualties and targets in line with the overall mission objective. Okay? It is a total command. It has total command and control in an information-intensive society. Now, from a military standpoint, the term command is more or less a legal or a behavioral standard of actions performed or not performed by military officers to which they can later be held accountable. The JADE system displaces that standard from individual commanders and places it on itself. Total command and control of all information over land, sea, air, space, and cyberspace is how they will master the human domain. It says that in the PDF slides. It says that in the software papers. Okay? It can perform machine interpretation of commander's intent. Think about that for a minute. You know, that's kind of, you know, let me try and put this in perspective.
Yeah, listen, don't hold it against me if I'm just being quiet here. I'm trying to wrap my mind around this. This is the deepest that we've ever gone on this subject. So bear with me. You don't have to worry about us bearing with you. Just bear with us, okay? just keep going. I am all attention.
Okay, I want to get back to the machine interpretation of commander's intent.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like, all right, I pull up to my house, I pull in the driveway. My intent is to go in the house and sit, you know, watch TV. Now, am I going to enter the house by smashing my truck through an exterior wall, or am I going to enter the house by getting a key off my keychain and unlocking the door? I mean, that, to me, I mean, that is a scary aspect. Machine interpretation of commander's intent.
I wonder if that's to eliminate the possibility of any, shall we say, freelancing out there, or overriding some orders or something like that.
I don't know. It could be.
Okay.
It could be, but I don't know. I'm not sure. This, like I said before, you know, the system sits on a global information grid, which is a, how can I explain this? It's a flexible, scalable, and a dynamic architecture in order to support multilateral civilian and military operations. This global information grid is going to be an important aspect as we go through this. Okay? Oh, here was another subheading in one of the papers, and it was entitled "The Process of Sense-Making in Complex Human Endeavors." Quote, "This approach uses a set of cognitive constructs that translates tacit knowledge to the focal knowing of the objective world." End quote. How are they accomplishing this? They're mapping your mind. That's how they're doing it. And that they are creating these maps with all of the information that's being collected on everyone regarding every aspect of their life. Macrocognition. This is the process the system uses to dissect the human behavioral process. It's cognitive and it's a cognitive and adaptive learning function, and it's this. I'm sorry, I'm stepping all over myself here.
It's completely okay. Gives me time to catch up.
Okay. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Okay, the macrocognition component of the system, like I mentioned before, is a process of dissecting the human behavioral process. Okay, its cognitive and adaptive learning capabilities enables it to predict intent. Now, we're not talking on the military side here. We're talking on either the enemy or civilian side, whichever way you want to look at it. So it can predict intent of an adversary or target, as well as predict a range of potential behaviors of those targets. And it does this instantaneously. This doesn't require a bunch of military commanders sitting around a table, going back and forth. Well, how should we handle this? I don't know. I think we should do it this way. The machine's making the system's making the decisions for them.
2020 to 2025, an autonomous system providing life support for the brain and allowing it interaction with the environment is created. The brain is transplanted into an Avatar B. With Avatar B, man receives new, expanded life. 2025. The new generation of avatars provides complete transmission of sensations from all 5 sensory robot organs to the operator. 2030 to 2035, Rebrain. The colossal project of brain reverse engineering is implemented. World science comes very close to understanding the principles of consciousness. 2035, the first successful attempt to transfer one's personality to an alternative carrier. The epoch of cybernetic immortality begins. 2040 to 2050. Bodies made of nanorobots that can take any shape arise alongside hologram bodies. 2045 to 2050. Drastic changes in social structure and in scientific and technological development. All the prerequisites for space expansion are established. For the man of the future, war and violence are unacceptable. The main priority of his development is spiritual self-improvement. A new era dawns. The era of neo-humanity.
Oh, here's another statement that was made in the paper entitled The Tuesday Presentation to Justify the Rollout of JADE 2. And it says, quote, "For a joint commander to define an instruction set to a civilian or military joint force mission to transform a failing state to an agreed upon non-failing end state is a problem," end quote. Okay, and this section goes on to say that, rapidly changing dynamics presents a cognitively difficult task for commanders and practitioners. And the system will do that too.
This sounds monstrous, frankly. It doesn't even sound cool. It sounds...
It is. I think it is.
Scary. Nefarious.
It gets worse.
Excellent.
When you look at it. No. I mean, when you look at it as it is not the be-all and the end-all, this is just a sub-layer, a layer on top of a much larger system that's already in place. Okay? JADE 2 can reconfigure its own network topography to optimize communication and data transfers. In one of my other reports, I talked about BBN technologies, use of bandwidth extenders on the cellular and wireless architecture networks. Well, this is what they're referring to. An example of this might look like, you're driving down the road, all of a sudden you lost cell phone service in a particular area or for a particular time, when in actuality, your bandwidth's been reallocated to the system. Because everything, absolutely everything, communications, everything else is tied into that global information grid. All right, another command and control problem that these concept papers, they're not even concept papers because the software is being used now. Okay, another command and control problem this system is designed to handle is the fact that the enemy has always been able to adapt to a rapidly changing environment to hide itself from exposure. In order to combat this problem, okay, the kill chain had to be compressed from hours to seconds. The system removes the administrative delay in the kill chain. It has no moral compass, no empathy, or regrets.
Wow.
Okay.
No empathy or regrets.
No, it's a computer program. I don't think they bothered to program that in.
It's just like your gun. It doesn't care.
Right.
Okay,
right.
gotcha.
It depends who's putting the directives in it. And it's intended to achieve dominance of cyberspace, cyber power, and cyber strategy. This capability will continue to evolve even though key technical, social, and information trends begin to stabilize. Okay. It'll capitalize on social engineering for offensive military and civilian operations. In other words, this is a technical approach to the tactics employed in Nazi Germany by the Stasi, the brown shirts, and the SS. This is just a technological version of those social engineering tactics they used then. It has a sophisticated decision support system for crowd control. And with the growing civil unrest, not only here in America, but around the world, this is going to be an integral aspect of JADE 2's deployment on the civilian population.
Okay.
Okay, now keep it, well, let me just say this and then move on to another section here. The hardware that this system's running on isn't your run-of-the-mill supercomputer, all right?
Your run-of-the-mill supercomputer.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's not a Cray. It's nothing like that. It's going to be running thousands of processors on a single chip. This is, without a doubt, the direction these command and control systems are moving toward.